Hello, and thanks once again for clicking into another edition of Sit Down with Ed Brown. Our guest today, although widely regarded as the most notorious hoaxer throughout the Bigtruth community, has agreed to sit down and discuss his side of the story regarding his involvement in not only the recent situation, but also the 2008 situation as well. I give him a ton of credit for agreeing to sit down with me today and talk about this and more. So please welcome Mr. Rick Dyer. Hey, Rick, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Listen, I want to thank you for agreeing to talk to me today, and I give you credit for taking the time to answer some pretty pointed questions.
Oh well, that's okay, man. I've always answered every question. I don't try to shy away. I don't tell you that a question is off of bounds or out of bounds. I just answer whatever people ask me, and sometimes they don't like it. So
fair enough. You know, I decided to invite you to the show after I listened to one of your videos. As a matter of fact, it was the one where you responded to Jennifer K. Wood's interview with Russell Knight. But you said something towards the end of that interview where you said that, you know, if you're going to talk to somebody, if you're going to conduct an interview, you should have somebody from both sides available. And I thought, you know, that's exactly right. So I thought I'd invite you today, and I'm glad you accepted.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Most people do not ask both sides. They only ask one side to make the unpopular person look as worse as possible, look as bad as possible, and I think that if you should do an interview, a proper interview, you should get both sides, no matter if you hate the guy or you don't like the guy, you don't agree with him. But if you're going to do a show, get both sides of the story, and your listeners can make up their own mind. They're all adults. They don't need to be brainwashed into believing something, believing one side up. The story is fact. And another thing I want to say is when we started our conversation before you started to record, you said something about you may consider me a hater. I don't consider no one a hater that don't take pictures of my family or talk about my family or just post 100% lies about me online. If you don't do none of that, then you're not a hater. You can't be a hater if you disagree with me. And I respect you.
Good. I'm sorry.
And I respect you if you disagree or whatever, man. We can talk like adults and move on.
Fair enough. And I agree. And you know, and I want to point that out to everybody who's listening, because I did mention that, you know, I told you before we started recording that, you know, I am not a Rick Dyer fan, you know, if you will. However, I do believe that everybody has should have an opportunity to speak their mind, and it is a good idea to get both sides of the story. And I and I did make the comment that you would probably consider me a hater because I disagree with you, and I'm glad you set me straight on that. As I said before, I think you got a beautiful family, and I would never myself or endorse anyone ever attacking you or your family or your kids or anything else. That's the thing. And unfortunately, it is an unfortunate situation in the Bigfoot community that some people take it a little too extreme. But,
and also, if you hear noise in the background, I am kind of busy today, so you may hear the noise of Home Depot. You may hear the noise of my kids. You may hear the noise of wind. So, sorry about that.
That's all right. I appreciate the heads up. You know, I always get these things started because I like to ask this question first, and I think this is an important question, especially for you, but how did you get interested in the Bigfoot subject to begin with?
How did I get interested in the Bigfoot subject? Wow.
That's a tough question.
That's a question that I've never been asked.
Welcome to my tale.
Well, I was walking through the woods with Matt Whitten in 2000, early 2008, and we were joking about seeing a Bigfoot. And of course, we didn't really see a Bigfoot, and that is when we got interested in Bigfoot, but not seriously as a joke. And and I guess that's where it started from. So,
well, let's discuss that particular occurrence, because now that's when you found the dead body, correct?
There was no dead body in Tennessee.
Okay.
There was no dead body. It was all a hoax. Everything was 100% a hoax in 2008. There was nothing about 2008 was true. Ain't no problem.
I appreciate you coming out and saying that, because my understanding was that you had said, the last I had heard anyway, your comment was that it was a hoax, but it didn't start out as a hoax. That you actually
it started out as a hoax, and everything about 2008 was a hoax. Everything.
No, why? I'm surprised, and I appreciate your honesty. Now you said that no, let me back up here, because you kind of threw me off, because I didn't expect that answer. So I guess now we're even for that first question. Now, let me ask you this, because you had sold that frozen costume, right? How much did you sell that for?
Well, we didn't sell it, because if we sold it, then it would have been a crime. Mm-hmm. What we did was we got an advance, and Tom Biscardi offered us a lot of money in the future if we would turn that him, and he said that everything was going to be fine, and everything was in order, and we got a $50,000 advance on that for future funds that were coming in.
And that came from Biscardi?
Well, the $50,000 came from a guy named Will Lett. I call him the loan shark, because he loaned Tom Biscardi the $50,000. Mm-hmm. Because with the Bigfoot autopsy and everything that was going to happen in 2008, man, we would be making millions. But that didn't turn out that way, because people wanted more money to stay quiet. And when the money did not flow from Tom Biscardi for people to stay quiet, they started to run their mouth, and then or they threatened to run their mouth. So Tom Biscardi decided to beat them to the punch and go out and hit the news media first, saying that he's been scammed or hoaxed or whatever he said, or hoodwinked. That's what he said.
Now, so the guy who gave the $50,000, though, Mr. Lett, was he aware that at that time that it was a hoax?
Mr. Lett, he had to be, because he was close with Tom Biscardi. He was Tom Biscardi's investor. So I can't confirm that he knew 100%. But I would think so, since Tom Biscardi and him was business partners.
Sure.
And they're still business partners today, so that tells you something.
Yeah, I guess I would. Yeah, I had seen a video where they were basically chipping the ice away, and they realized that it was a rubber suit. Are you saying that was all fictitious as well?
I'm not saying that was all fictitious as far as some of the people that were there. Like some of the people may have been shocked that were there, but the people that came and picked up the body in Georgia, they if they were shocked on any video, then it was acting. Because they knew exactly that the body was fake.
Gotcha. Because I guess that would have led to my next question would have been how could you and this question still applies because you accepted money for a fake Bigfoot, but I guess my question would be how can you justify accepting money for something that you knew was fake that somebody else may not have known, you know?
They knew it was fake too. As far as the investor, the money came from the investor, but it was loaned to Tom Biscardi. So Tom Biscardi forwarded the money over to us.
Gotcha. So it wasn't a situation where you took money for a fake Bigfoot. It was a situation where you took an advance to portray a hoax. So I guess that money came in way before the Bigfoot was quote unquote sold, right?
Oh yeah, the Bigfoot and the money that was chump change to compare to what we was going to make. It was chump change to compare to what Tom Biscardi made off charging people for the pictures. Like 300,000 people paid to see the picture of the Bigfoot on his website in 2008.
Wow.
At $5 a piece. So I don't know if he... And that story was disappeared fast because everybody was concentrating on Rick Dyer. But how about the other people involved, like the 300,000 people that bought the unseen photos on Tom Biscardi's website? So that's where the big money is, and that's where that people need to look. And I won't go and say that that's a fraud. That's entertainment.
Well, I mean, I guess it would depend on the definition of entertainment. I mean, I think if you are portraying something as real, then it crosses that line from entertainment to fraud. If somebody is purchasing those to see the pictures, and I'm not going
to defend Tom Biscardi, but
sure.
But everybody is like take for example what I did, charging people to see a fake Bigfoot.
Sure, and I think that theory applies there as well. You know, if you hypothetically if you portray something as real and someone pays to see a real dead Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot you're showing them isn't real, then it kind of crosses the line from entertainment to deception. You know.
Well, I don't see it that way, and fortunately for me, the law don't see it that way. If you're going to lock me up or lock whoever up, then they're going to need to lock the circus up, lock P.T. Barnum up, dig his ass up, and lock all the sideshows up. It's entertainment. Now, if I said okay, I'm going to sell you this vehicle, and I never produced the vehicle. Now that's fraud. But as far as entertainment wise, this is purely entertainment. That's it. And when it comes to Bigfoot, and when it comes to aliens, and when it comes to all the paranormal type stuff, it's all entertainment. Now, where the balloon boy crossed the line is he got the police involved, and that's why his hoax got him locked up. If he never got the police involved, then he would have never been locked up.
Well, sure. I mean, that's yeah. But so basically, I just want to back up for just a second. So I want to make sure I understood what you're saying. I mean, do you personally believe in Bigfoot?
Do I personally believe in Bigfoot? Of course I believe in Bigfoot. Of course I believe in Bigfoot.
Okay. Because I thought you said, and you can clear that up for me if you want, but I thought you were saying that that Bigfoot, aliens, ghosts, all that was basically just entertainment. There was nothing there. It was just for entertainment value only. I guess maybe I misunderstood you.
Oh, no, you understood me correctly. You just put a couple of words in my mouth.
Not on purpose, I promise.
I said that they were entertainment. Stuff like that is considered entertainment, and will always be considered entertainment when and if my body comes out or not. They will always be considered entertainment.
Okay. Now, to kind of give your theory some credence, I will say that, I guess you could look at the movie The Blair Witch Project, for example. It's a movie that was brought out as a real and advertised as a real situation that, of course, was all Hollywood, and it was considered entertainment. So I guess you probably have a good point there. But what about
billions of dollars, billions off that movie? Everybody's rich.
Okay.
And the only way that they got caught is the actor got caught eating a hamburger at McDonald's, and someone took a photo and just busted it all up. Did they have to give that money back? Absolutely not. It's entertainment, brother.
But do you think there should be a little differential between entertainment and the moral issue involved? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, would you think there's a moral issue involved there?
And not there, not right there. Now, if I would went out and said, "Hey, y'all, I have cancer, send me some money," now that is a moral issue, and that is also against the law.
True. Okay.
So, as far as Bigfoot, ghosts, paranormal, and stuff like that, man, it's all entertainment, and some other stuff too, man. It's all entertainment. That's how come I charged $250 per person to be a member of my club, of my team tracker.
Mm-hmm. Now,
and trust me, if anything was, and you can take this to the bank, if anything was against the law that Rick Dyer has done, I would be so far under the jail right now, because you have people calling every city councils, the sheriffs, you have people calling everybody trying to get me trumped up on charges. And everyone has denied to press charges because I did not break any laws.
Right.
I'm a liar. Okay. My morals are a little bit off. Oh, well, that's okay. but I didn't break no laws, and that's what people can't fathom. So once they find out that, they start going after my family. They start doing crazy stuff, and that's a hater, not people that just don't believe in me.
Right.
So,
and I agree, and I think that's well said. And but let's move up to San Antonio if we can, because we've kind of touched on a couple of things that I want to touch on here in a minute, but we'll try to get it kind of in a step by step if we can. And how did you select San Antonio as your spot?
How did I select San Antonio as my spot for what?
For your Shooting Bigfoot movie with Morgan Matthews.
Well, Bigfoot selected that spot, not me. If there was no Bigfoot there or no sightings there, then we wouldn't have been in that spot. Myself and Morgan Matthews have been filming together since 2009. That is when Shooting Bigfoot started, and it was originally called Man of Monsters. Mm-hmm. And there was more people involved in Man of Monsters than just the Dallas and Wayne and Tom Biscardi and Rick Dyer.
Right.
I was initially going to have a very small part in this documentary, but when he filmed with me, I guess he liked me and he liked how I was on camera, and then he called me back a year later and said, "Well, we're still working on the documentary." I said, "What?" And so he found us interesting, and he came back and filmed 2 or 3 more times, and then he started to drop the other people and just left myself, Dallas and Wayne, and Tom Biscardi.
Yeah, and I've seen the movie, and I will say that I don't think he portrayed any of you in a very good light, you know. But
I loved it.
Well, I mean, I think that I won't talk about Dallas Wayne and I won't talk about Biscardi, but since I'm talking to you personally, I think he kind of portrayed you as kind of a bully, or do you think that's kind of the way you are?
A bully? No, I'm the furthest from a bully you will ever see. I am just confident, and on some stuff I know what I'm talking about, and people may take confidence for being a bully, and that's just not me. Any of my friends, my true friends that has been around me, will say the same thing. I'm a big teddy bear, but don't piss me off, and don't lie, and then I can be your best friend forever.
Well, let me just ask you this real quick, and again, I'm not picking on you, but I got to ask. You just said, you know, all my friends, you know, just don't lie to me. But you said a minute ago that, you know, you're a liar, that you made up a lot of lies. I mean, is that a fair perception to place on your friends if you're not doing it yourself, I guess?
I don't lie to my friends.
Fair enough. Let me ask you, can you do me a favor, just kind of run through the events of the night that you shot the Bigfoot? You know, I mean, just kind of run through the events. You know, again, I've seen the movie. I doubt that everybody has. But just kind of tell my listeners kind of a step-by-step what happened that night.
me and Morgan Matthews probably get out of the tent at the same time, and then we started to look for Bigfoot because we saw him earlier, and we started to because we heard noises and stuff, ribs crunching and stuff, so we knew that he was out there, and we basically found him. I shot him, and that's the story.
Well, I mean, that's a short version, but I mean, what did you hear? What was it specifically that made you know that was Bigfoot? I mean, when you're running through the dark and you're, pulling the trigger.
Well, the thing is, man, you see the Bigfoot. We saw the Bigfoot earlier that day, so we knew a Bigfoot is out there. We knew that it was going to come for some more ribs because it was an easy meal. And the agreement I had with Morgan Matthews that I broke, the gun was there just for protection if they attacked us. And I broke that agreement. But you have to understand that Morgan did not believe in Bigfoot before this. He thought that we were just running around the woods looking stupid. Well, we was running around the woods looking stupid also, but after he saw it and he knew that it was real, we kind of made an agreement that gun is just for protection, and we're just going to get some more video of it, and blase this and blase that, and I came out of the tent, and I was ready and willing to shoot and kill a Bigfoot, and that's why you see him grab my shoulder. That's why you see him basically arguing with me at that time.
No.
But nothing was staged. Everybody says something was staged. Of course they say that because they wasn't there, and it's Rick Dyer, for God's sake.
I will agree with that. I mean, and I think even you have to kind of agree that the Bigfoot community, for the most part, would kind of rather see someone else get lucky and shoot it than Rick Dyer, Oh,
absolutely. Not anybody but Rick Dyer, but the fact that at one time I did try to go straight. I did try my damnedest to go straight after the 2008. I really tried to go straight, and I went to Bigfoot conferences and all kinds of stuff. Every time that BigfootTracker.com pulled up, man, we were the hit of every conference we went to. And what rained on my parade was a conference in 2011. And we had some top Bigfoot guys, and I set up my booth, and wherever I go, no matter how much people hate me or anything, they are so friendly to my face that you would think that they're my best friends. I'm talking about our damn buddies. But as soon as I leave, then they start talking the shit. But that conference stood out to me big time because there was two big name Bigfoot trackers there, Ken Gerhardt and God, I can't think of the name. There was an author named Redmond from the UK, and then there was another big name guy from Texas Bigfoot organization or something like that. And I was talking to the media and stuff, and everything was going great. And I saw them back in the woods making fake footprints to show the media. And I'm like, what the fuck? These guys are respected in this Bigfoot community. They are super respected, and why are they making footprints? And they took the media back there and showed them the footprints like they were real. And I'm like, oh my God. So that rained on my parade, and then right there, I lost respect. I lost a little bit of respect with the Bigfoot community. And then as things go on, I see other people in the Bigfoot community hoaxing like a 12-year-old could do a better hoax. And they get busted, and no one talks about it ever again. And it's like they are forgiven. And they keep on at the top of the Bigfoot community. And that's when I decided to start my own community. And that's what I did.
Now, I mean, and I'll give you credit. I mean, there are some people out there who are portraying some things as real that aren't. And in fact, I just recently called somebody out on that the other day, as a matter of fact. And don't get me wrong. I don't consider myself the Bigfoot police or anything like that, and I don't try to portray myself that way either. But I was given a picture, was told that picture was taken that day. Turns out that picture was a still frame from a video taken a few years ago in Canada. So I called that person out. But my point is, there are people out there who are doing that, but I don't know that the fact that other people are doing that should be enough incentive to do it yourself, I guess is my point.
And that's why I don't want to be a part of it. I'm glad the Bigfoot community hates me. And they hate me because if I see something, I speak up about it. I don't have no friends in the Bigfoot community that I have to kiss their ass, and I don't have no friends that I am partnered with on the website. I don't even talk about Bigfoot no more until my body will be released, and then you'll see more of Rick Dyer in a Bigfoot capacity. Don't get me wrong, but now we're talking about hoaxers. And yes, I'm a hoaxer, and I love every second of it. But what I don't like is when people go after one person and everybody else is doing the same thing.
And I think there's a little bit of a difference there. I mean, if hypothetically, if I believed your story, but I didn't believe somebody else's, personally, I would be more apt to be looking into their stuff than I would be yours if I believed yours.
Well, a Sasquatch detective should look into everybody's. And when he sees a flaw in any part of anyone's story, then they should investigate that. And the reason they don't is because they're going along with the grain of the Bigfoot community. But with that said, I'm through with that.
Fair enough. So let's back up to where we were. So you shoot the Bigfoot. So what do? You just kind of leave it there all night? I mean, what did you do? Cover it up with a tarp or something like that? What happened there?
Okay. Well, what happened was we had to leave it there all night because the truck rentals didn't open until in the morning. Mm-hmm. And we basically stayed with it all night. And in the morning we went to the Home Depot and we bought some tarps. We got a truck, and by that time my investor was already out there. and we basically, with the help of some of the homeless people that were involved, dragged the carcass to a hill, and with the help of another homeless guy, we drug him over the hill, and he just took off like the plastic hit that grass, and it just took off. And basically the Bigfoot rolled down the hill. It was funny as hell, and everything I said could have been verified if someone would have immediately contacted the Home Depot and asked them to review their security cameras.
Right.
And no one did that. So we loaded them up in the truck, and a official from the government at a university, and that's it.
So now this official, was that in Washington?
No. The official came down, or was stationed around there, like it wasn't from Washington. It was there. So they met us at a university, and they took some samples and stuff, and after that, we took him to another university where he stayed for a while, and there was all kinds of tests being performed and stuff, and that's where we are now.
Sure. So there was never a university in Washington per se that had the body ever.
University of Washington? No. There was the. You have to. You really have to know me to know what went on in my head in this hoax.
Sure.
Okay? You really have to know. You really have to know when it became a hoax.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm hoping to find out here, because I think that, I think it's important for me anyway, and I'm sure at least some of my listeners, to get an idea of what was going on in your head. Why did you decide to do this when you could have done that, or whatever. So please fill us in. Yeah.
Okay. Man, after I killed this Bigfoot, I got really cocky, and I knew that I could make any kind of video that I wanted to, but I could not say exactly what happened because I was under an NDA. I wasn't even supposed to say that I killed one, but I got a big mouth, and I was happy, and I knew that money was coming, and so I ran my mouth. And that's why I said, when I first started, I told everyone on the video, I will lie. I will lie. There's going to be some mistruths. There's going to be some just flat-out lies.
I saw that video.
And I said, but at the end of the day, there will be a body. I'm going to have to put you on speakerphone behind the police. So when I said that, I knew basically that I could say anything I wanted to, and I couldn't be responsible for what I said because I said, hey, I'm going to lie. And I have lied, but at the end of the day, there will be a Bigfoot body. And at the end of the day, there will be a Bigfoot body, a real Bigfoot body that anyone can have the right to test. Now, when I started getting the runaround from my investors and the university, because I would actually say a date, which they did tell me, and then that date comes and goes, I look like a idiot. So after that, man, I started to see my videos getting like really, really popular. I started seeing my hits goes up, my website hits goes up, my AdSense account went from like $3 a month to like $1,100 a month. So I said, well, I'm going to use this here, and I'm going to use the hate they are doing towards me, and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to make a tour. And I knew that I wasn't getting the body for a while, the real one, and I'm probably not ever going to get the real one. Going to be displayed, but it's not going to be displayed on a tour. It's going to be displayed at a museum tour like the Titanic Artifacts was.
Sure.
And right now I do know who will be displaying that. And it is a really famous company that has displayed some big things, but that's for another time. I did not start to make the body until October, late October, when I contacted Chris.
Right.
And I told him exactly what I was doing, and I told him that at the end that this body will come out as a fake. I told him that from day one, and he agreed to make it. And when I went and picked it up in late December, I was happy with the product. My only request to him was use real hair, and he did use real hair, so I can burn it, and it smelled like real hair.
Right.
And it may not look super real on pictures and stuff, but man, when you're there and you're standing right beside it and you're looking at all the details, a lot of people thought it was real. A lot of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you say that, because I was, I was in a lot of groups on Facebook, and I debated with a lot of people, and my thing was this: I was like, I understand you think it's real, but why do you think it's real? That's what I couldn't understand, because to me, personally, I looked at it and I was like, okay, that's fake. Some people looked at it. I'm sorry?
You looked at pictures.
Exactly. And some people looked at it. I talked to people who said, dude, it has moles, it has this, it has that. And I just couldn't see them.
Well, it did have moles. He did a wonderful, wonderful job with this, far and beyond what I asked for. He did a great job, and he is a great artist.
Russell does a really good job with all of his stuff, not just the Bigfoot, but I'm sure you've seen the other pictures. He's a very talented man, absolutely. So we got the body, and I knew that we can make money off of this before the real body comes out. So I said, let's make the money off this, and then let's make the money when the real Bigfoot comes out. And that's what I told Andrew Placey, and that's what I told Link Hall before they even came down, and they were all in agreement. Because I knew that they will be there when the body is being picked up, and they will be there when we have to clean out the case. They will be there when we have to adjust. So they have to know that it's fake. Yep. Now, Link was there, but Andrew wasn't there when you picked up the body, though, right?
No, Andrew was in the car when we picked up the body. Andrew was in charge of filming. The only reason why Andrew was not in the house was because Chris Russell said, I can only bring one person in his house. That is the only reason. And then you have Andrew Clacy showing a video of him standing in front of a supermarket. But what he's not telling you is we made 4 or 5 different scenarios. We made one with Link standing there. We made one with both of them standing there. We made one with him standing on the side of the road and vice versa. There was a lot of different scenarios that we was doing because we was filming a documentary at the same time. So it's that's exactly how it happened. And let's say that people believes Andrew and Link's story about not knowing. Okay, well, that's fine and good. Well, when the case was continually breaking, because I'm not a carpenter, and I built this damn case, and this thing was breaking every 2 seconds, man. I suck at building shit, okay? and everything was falling apart. The plexiglass was falling down. Everything was just every bump. Then they would have knew the very, very first time it broke was when the plexiglass came out and laid on the body. That's when it broke the absolute first time. And the first time, and I forgot about this time because everybody was concentrating on the first time it broke after Amarillo. But the very first time something malfunctioned was from Washington back to Vegas. And what happened was the plexiglass was just laid in there because we had to put the body in. So there was no way for the plexiglass to not be in there because the body was it. We had to take everything out and put the body back. And we did not have time or basically the know-how to put everything back together there in the back of the trailer. So basically the glass was off for the most part, and we slid them back on when we let people view the body in the back of the trailer from Washington to Vegas. And there was no way for a person not to know that it was fake if the glass was off, because all they had to do was reach in there and touch it. And they can see there was glue everywhere when the glass was off. They could not see the glue when the glass was on. And that's exactly what happened. But Andrew and Link both knew 100% that what we were taking on tour before they came out here was fake. They knew that without a doubt. But I don't want to talk about them because I'm not going to trash me the way they I'm not going to trash them the way they trash me. They have trashed me beyond belief, and that was just the only reason they trashed and lied on me, to protect them, so they wouldn't look as bad for going along with this here. And I understand that. When Andrew and Link is in front of your face, they are really good guys, and I'm sure they're really good guys when they're home. But when things go south, those are not the people to have on your side.
Well, I've had the opportunity to talk to Andrew, and I've communicated with Link. I've never actually talked to him like I'm talking to you now, but I've had an opportunity to chat with him a little bit. In fact, his official statement was released through me, and he stated in there that he admitted that he knew that you told him right from the start, before you even got to the Walmart to pick up Andrew, that you told him that it was fake. And so I guess my confusion, and again, I agree with you.
I told them before they got on the plane, because just imagine, they're on the plane, they're coming out here, and then they find out it's fake. Oh my God. I couldn't take that chance when all this money was on the line. I couldn't take that chance of them finding out when they're already here. That was just, it's a dummy could tell that. I couldn't take that chance, and I wouldn't, and that's why they knew before they landed what was going on.
Okay, I mean, and again, that does contradict what they said, but I don't know personally.
Look at the videos. All you have to do, if you want to investigate something, look at the videos where Andrew said that he spent hours upon hours examining this body with an open case. Well, that's all the proof that you need right there out of his own mouth.
Well, believe me, I've watched a lot of video, but I haven't seen that one. I'm sure it's there. I just haven't seen it.
It's on my YouTube account, and I will send you the link. And in fact, I will post it on my fan page again, so everybody can see it again. That's him out of his own mouth. But I will say, I don't want to bet, I can say, brother, about both of these clowns. But I'm going to be the man. They're good guys. They just got caught up in something that they thought it was going to be easy, and when they thought that we wasn't going to make no money, they bailed. And I tell you, before San Antonio, Texas, we were struggling. Before San Antonio, Texas, we only made like $700.
That barely cost your
San Antonio, it wouldn't even pay for that damn big ass thing and fuel and food. Food was a big expense. So when they say that I didn't pay them anything, that is like, oh my God. Andrew got almost $12,000, and here's how that occurred. Cash part, he got about $5,500 or $6,000 cold hard cash. And another investor that came on board, I had to take a personal loan out to pay them. I had to take a personal loan out to pay for the motorhome. I had to take a personal loan out to pay for the trailer. I had to take a personal loan out to pay for everything that I am responsible for. But just because the investor, I asked the investor to give Andrew money directly to his account the way Andrew told me to. That's why Andrew is saying that I personally never gave him anything, but I have to pay that money back. And I have all the documents that I had to get the loan out, which Andrew also signed. But I am responsible for the whole amount of the loan, and I've already started to pay that amount back. So
now you mentioned the trailer. I had heard through the grapevine, and I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe you can clear that up for me. But I heard that the gentleman or the company that fixed your trailer, put it together, that you still haven't paid for that yet. I mean, so I'm not sure where that loan is. That's what I heard.
No. Look, I got my loan from more or less a bank, and they gave me cash.
Okay.
And then I took that cash to go buy the trailer, to go fix up the trailer. They wouldn't even give me the trailer back if I didn't pay for it. So everything as far as the trailer, the motorhome, is paid for completely in my name. It's just the loan that I took out from the bank don't have no collateral. It's just a signature loan because they saw how much money that we are going to make in this upcoming summer tour.
Sure. But let me ask you real quick. I mean, and all that's great, you know, and I, you know, if you want to keep talking about that, that is perfectly fine. But to get back to kind of your situation with the Bigfoot, where's that research at now? I mean, is it still ongoing? Do you have a release date? What's going on with the real Bigfoot?
The real Bigfoot, I do have a release date, but I am not going to release the release date. It sounds crazy, but I don't want to lie anymore.
Understood.
To my true friends and fans, because I tell you what, this tour have made so many people happy. We did charity events. We did really good for a lot of people, and I don't regret that at all. And if I could do it again, I would, and I wouldn't change anything about what we did, anything at all, except getting people that would stand by their word and not run off when things was getting bad. That's the only part that I would change.
All right. So are we talking this year, next year? Maybe give me that much.
We're talking this year.
I'm sorry?
This year.
This year. Okay. Good. I mean, that's something we can look forward to. Now, just one more quick question about that stuff, and then we'll kind of move forward a little bit. But the DVDs that, you know, I guess my understanding is that no one's received their DVDs yet that have ordered them and paid for them. I mean, have you sent any of them out yet? If not, when do you plan to do that?
That is not entirely true. About half has already received the DVDs, and the other half is for the people that has basically stood by me. That has been through, because there's only 19. It's not like there's 100. There's only 19, and half of them has already went out. The other half is for my true believers that a little bit of extra is going to be in there. And then I have 3 haters that ordered the DVD. They will be the last ones to get it, and all the good parts will be taken out of that DVD.
Okay. So how many DVDs did you sell altogether?
A total of, when I first started and when it was hot, I sold like 68. And then we had people that was going to PayPal and stuff. And PayPal said I could not set a advance date. So I had to offer a refund, and that's why I made a video offering a refund to anyone who wanted a refund. And then I gave all the refunds but 19, because 19 people said that they were wanting the DVD. And in those 19 people was the 3 haters that I'm talking about wasn't haters at the time.
Gotcha. So these are people that turned on you, basically.
Yes, these are the people that turned on me.
Gotcha.
So as far as the DVDs, the DVDs are was a little behind, but most of them are out now. Over half.
Good. Well, that's good to know. I mean, and like I said, last I had heard, no one had had them yet, but that doesn't mean. And of course, I was also under the impression that there were hundreds of them, not just 68 and then down to 19. So. No,
the max I sold was 68, and then a lot of people wanted the refund after the reviews for the movie came out in March, and then I had to give them the refund then. Now, keep in mind also that if I didn't do exactly what I was saying, then I would already be charged with something now from those DVDs.
Sure.
Because because what you don't understand is people really hate me, and all they have time to do is they have called every single body from senators to county commissioners to police chiefs. They have called everybody, and everybody has said this man has not committed a crime.
Right.
We cannot just go arrest people for nothing because you don't like what they do. So,
well, I said the same thing. I said, assuming that this whole thing is a hoax as well, and that you really didn't shoot one, assuming that's true, and I'm not saying that, I'm just saying assuming that's true, you were actually really smart by picking the location, because that's a place where you could do it and get away with it. There were a lot of things that would have set up a perfect hoax and break no laws had that been the case. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't want to, I'm not trying to voice my opinion here. I'm not trying to say you did or didn't shoot a Bigfoot. I mean, that's for everybody else to decide. I just want to make sure that the information that we're getting now is correct. That's all I'm looking for. So what is your relationship right now with Morgan Matthews? I mean, because I know that at the end of that movie, the shooting Bigfoot, that was that didn't go over real well. It didn't sound like.
Morgan Matthews is a really good person. His number is on my speed dial on my cell phone. We communicate regularly because we have to of things that's been going on. Now, a lot of people wants to know, well, why hasn't he come out and stood behind you? He will very, very soon. Very soon, Minnow Films will stand behind Rick Dyer. And I'm sure that they're going to do it in a way that leaves more questions than answers. Because that's how they are. And since I have so many haters, or people that really hates me, they don't want that for them. And they would have did this a long time ago if I would have just kept my mouth shut and let it be released on schedule when everything was good, but I didn't. But I promised the world that Morgan Matthews and Minnow Films will release a statement within 30 days that puts support behind Rick Dyer.
Okay. Because in one interview he did, he stated that he can't say there was or there wasn't a Bigfoot. He didn't I don't know, put stuff out there one way or the other, which I think was probably smart of him. But I guess my question would be, if he was there when you shot it, how could he not have seen it?
Oh, he's seen it. He's seen it. That's for sure. Morgan Matthews has seen it. He's touched it. He has filmed it when it was dead, and that's what you're going to see soon also. It's it's show business right now. He is not thinking like a Bigfoot hunter. He is thinking like, how in the hell am I going to make as much money as possible off this? And he will make a lot of money. He has made a lot of money. The film was also sold to the Discovery Channel about a month ago.
Okay.
So you will see Shooting Bigfoot on the Discovery Channel real soon here, within the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's what I was told. So people's got to understand that this is a money game. This ain't a Bigfoot hunter. This ain't a Bigfoot enthusiast. He could give a hell less about Bigfoot. He don't care.
Right.
But he also said that it's not going to be, and his words were exactly as hunky-dory as you think it is for us. It's going to be good for you, Rick, but it's not going to be as good as thing is for us. Pocket-wise, yes, but we're going to have a lot of people that is pissed off that basically we killed a Bigfoot. We killed something that previously no one said existed, and it's going to be bad for us. So.
Well, that's interesting. I guess I look forward to seeing that come out on Discovery, and I'm sure they're going to edit it and cut it up a little bit different than what the original was.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see.
And also, he is a big-time award-winning director, a documentary filmmaker there, okay?
Mm-hmm. He
has got an excellent reputation. If everybody is accusing you of fraud or whatever, then you should step up and say, hey, 1 second. This guy did not kill a Bigfoot. I was there the whole time. He did not shoot one. He did not kill one. There was no Bigfoot there. I don't know what's going on with him. There's nobody, but he didn't do that. He kept his mouth shut, and he's giving you bits and pieces because he knows what happened, and he knows the outcome is that I've been telling the truth all along.
Okay. And this will come out sometime this year.
Oh, yes.
The truth.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, well, speaking of the truth, and I guess this is the one that puzzled me the most, and there were a lot of pretty wild claims made, like I had heard. You stated that Hank had a baby Bigfoot in his stomach where he'd eaten it. Both male and female Bigfoots can have babies, and I heard some crazy stuff. But you did make one comment that I heard that I found especially confusing, and I was hoping maybe you could clear that up for me a little bit. But you said that scientists and doctors that were examining the real Bigfoot told you that there was something in the blood of the female that can help cure cancer. Can you explain that for me?
They said, okay, there is that part is somewhat true. They said that it's hard to me to explain in technical terms, like they explained it to me. So I'm going to explain you the dumbass redneck way, okay?
That's fine. That's probably the only way I'll understand it anyway, so go ahead.
Okay, when I did shoot this creature, he was basically, you can see his tissue regenerating.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay, I got you.
After he was dead. So something in there can help with a lot of research.
Sure. If that was the case, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. So the Bigfoot gets shot, it's dead, and it starts to regenerate and basically heal itself, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be the principle that the doctors are using or the scientists are using to say that, you know, that could possibly even cure cancer. Because I had heard that it was only the female, not the male, that could do that. And, you know, that's the way I understood you to say it anyway.
Well, I probably did say that. I cannot remember all the lies that I was telling you. I can only remember the facts.
Sure. So then that would have been just along the lines of the Hank having a baby Bigfoot in his belly, you know, that kind of stuff. That would be on the same line of quote unquote the lies that we're being told then, right?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. So let's assume, for argument's sake, that you really shot a Bigfoot. You know, and I'm not saying you did or you didn't. Okay. Why not? I would prefer for people to believe I did not. Okay.
I have never asked anyone to believe that I shot a Bigfoot. I would prefer, and I've said that since day one, I've never asked anyone to believe that I killed a Bigfoot. I would prefer people to think, oh, he's just a nut, or he's just a hoaxer, or he's just a liar. So when it comes out that I did, they'd be pleasantly surprised, and I can say, ha, 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 ha.
Sure.
But, of course, I can say, ha, 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 if I shot one or not. So.
Okay, I mean, why wouldn't you, I guess my point is, if you really shot one, why wouldn't you roll it out with a, you know, waiting till you got all the information back? I mean, you know, let's be honest. If it's all about money, okay, and maybe it is for you, but if it's all about money, whoever kills a Bigfoot or whoever gets that proof that Bigfoot exists is going to be a very, very wealthy person. You know, why not roll it out the right way instead of portraying a big hoax in the beginning? And
because Rick Dyer is running it.
Exactly. And
because Rick Dyer is an idiot.
Well, this goes back to trying to get in your head, I guess, is what I'm trying to do. You know, you can portray a hoax, ruin any credibility you have, and then when the real Bigfoot comes out, you know, I guess everybody's going to be, oh man, you know, we were wrong. You know, is that kind of what you're hoping for, or why? I guess I don't understand why you didn't just roll it out the right way to begin with. I guess I'm just trying to get in your head.
Well, that's what they wanted. That's what the investors wanted, and that's what Morgan Matthews wanted. That's what everybody tried to make me do. Okay, but days after I killed a Bigfoot, I started to run my mouth, and I couldn't help it. Yeah, I guess it's a damn problem I have. And if I did that the way that they wanted me to do, then this would have been a different outcome, and I would be a hero instead of a hoaxer. But in my mind, I thought, well, you know what? Let me do both. They say I couldn't do another hoax again. I have all these haters giving me all kinds of attention and making me money. Let's go ahead and do that, and then make the money off this, and then make the money off that. That's the way that I was thinking. And I did make money off of this, and I'm definitely going to make bukus off of that.
Sure. And yeah, when a real body surfaces, then boom. Now,
exactly.
The real body now, I assume, is at some university somewhere. We don't even know what state it's in. Is it correct?
Huh?
Is that right? I mean, is the body at some university right now still being analyzed, still being tested?
It is. It is at the university, and the funny part is that someone already leaked the university, and no one listened to them.
That's interesting.
No one.
I know that. Go ahead. You said no one.
No one listened to them. Someone has already leaked it, and no one paid them a damn bit of attention, and that made me laugh like hell. Now, I'm not going to say who it is, but
sure.
They know who it is, and I'm sure they're listening to your show.
Well, I would think that whoever whoever leaked it probably didn't really think it was real, so they didn't go further into it. I would assume. It's hard to say, I guess. Just my opinion. But I do know that I do know this by law, and we talked about law a little while ago. How you haven't broken any laws, and you haven't. But I do know that by law, any government-funded agency, which includes museums, colleges, libraries, whatever, are required by law to disclose any and all projects that they're working on in order to get funding, And I know that I've seen some reports of a lot of universities, maybe because I guess I was under the assumption that it was a university in Washington. If that's not the case, then I guess this question kind of goes by the wayside. But I've seen a lot of reports where people had inquired based on that law, looking for answers, and everybody was saying, no, we don't know anything about it. So it's definitely not in Washington, correct?
Oh, it's definitely not in Washington, and I myself have never, ever said that it was at a university in Washington. I just said that we was going to go pick up a body in Washington.
Okay. Well,
I never said about any university in Washington. That was just people assuming stuff.
No, I believe you did. I remember a video where you said, and maybe I'll look it up and I'll send it to you. I'll message it to you. But I remember the video because you said in the video that you went to Washington and dropped it off at a university in Washington is what you said, which is why so many people were looking for universities in Washington. So if obviously you threw a nice curveball, if it's not in Washington. So
if I said that, then I must have been drunk or something because or maybe I said it to throw people off because if I did say it, I don't remember saying it, but I have said stuff before to throw people off because I know they hang on every word I say and then they will spend days and days researching that. So I have no idea what they meant. I can't remember my own lies, brother.
That's a bad situation, Rick. That's a bad situation. Well, speaking of lies, I'm going to ask you this. This is my last question, then I'm going to let you close out the show for me. But you have lied, quote unquote, lied to people for profit on your tour. Okay, I mean, do you feel at all bad for the people who went in thinking they were looking at a real Bigfoot and got a fake hand instead? I think that's a fair question, and I. You can ask and I can answer, and I respect that. But that it was a sideshow. It was advertised on the news as a sideshow. When you walk in the trailer, it said "believe it or not." You can choose to believe my story, or you could choose to not. But you're still paying $10 to get in, and that's what they did. And I don't feel bad, and not one real person that actually been there, real person, has asked for their money back. And if they did, then I would tell them, sorry, you loved it when it was there. Some people, like a lot of adults went in, right? But I tell you, kids were my main customers. Like we had so many kids, hundreds of kids, where their parents would stay out because their parents just knew it was bullshit, and they would send their kids in. Right.
And if you look on the news clip where kids are talking and where adults are talking, which no one ever shows those, that real or not, it's worth the $10 to come out here and see. It's good entertainment. And you take your kids to the zoo, to the circus, or to wherever, and you're going to pay. And you paid to go in my trailer.
Well, I actually know of a couple of quote-unquote haters that did go see it, and they said it was pretty interesting. So, was it a good sideshow? Sure. And I do know that you had, believe it or not, on the side of your truck, But you also had come see a real dead Bigfoot advertised on the side of your truck. So,
absolutely.
So I mean, so you got to see where I'm coming from here. I mean,
Oh, I see where you're coming from,
okay,
but it's not going nowhere. It's entertainment, and as far as haters coming out, I can only tell you one hater came out that I know of. One hater, and he did not even go in and see the body. He just stood out there, and he just stared with his cane. He was like 70-something years old, and he came out there, and Andrew went over to talk to him, and then I went over to talk to him, and this guy was so scared he couldn't talk, I thought, and then I realized this guy is a really, really old man, and that all he said to me was, why are you defrauding people? And then he went and he called the police. The police came out, paid my fee to go in there because we wouldn't let them go in without paying a fee. And then the police went and paid the fee, and the police enjoyed it and said that I wasn't breaking any laws, and said that someone was saying that you were ripping off people. And the police got the same story as I give everybody else about how I killed it, where I killed it, and this thing is real.
Okay, I mean, well, you just said it. You just said you told the police the same thing you told everybody else. This thing is real, but you knew it wasn't. I mean, that would be...
Exactly. They can choose to believe it, or they can choose not to believe it. That's totally up to them. Gotcha.
So the bottom line is they can choose to believe you or not believe you. It is the bottom line.
Exactly, and hopefully they choose not to believe me, because that's what I want.
Well, like I said, I know of two haters that did go, and I guess they didn't say nothing to you. I guess they just went in, they paid their money, they went in, they looked at it, and both of them said it was really interesting, and they both said it was, that it looked pretty real. So, you got props for that. I mean, Chris Russell did a great job, no doubt. But every show I do, Rick, I give my guests an opportunity to say anything they want. They close out the show. Anything you want it to be about. It could be about something maybe I didn't touch on, something you wanted to just plug. I don't know if you got something happening, kind of what you're up to now, but the floor is yours. Feel free to close out the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate everyone for helping me out in this, including the haters. I thank my fans and friends and followers, and I thank my real friends too. After this happened, we advertised an expedition in Tennessee that's happening at the end of this month. And 4 days after I opened it up, we sold it out. So that just proves that no one really cares if I shot and killed a Bigfoot or not. They just know I'm fun and they want to come hang out with me. This is not over by any means. I may be on the quiet side now because I'm going through a lot right this second. I just bought a house that needed a lot of work, so we're trying to fix it up. That's where I am right this second. I'm concentrating on what makes me feel good, and that's cars. I love to buy and sell cars. I love to work on cars, and that's what I'm concentrating on now, because Bigfoot just brings out the worst in some people, and I wanted to give it some time to cool off, to see if I even want back in the Bigfoot world, to see if I want to do things. Because before I wanted to do stuff, I liked to do stuff with Bigfoot, but after I killed one and after I see how people was, then I have made it to the top, and I know that no one can surpass me, and that's why I am the best Bigfoot tracker in the world. There's nothing more for me to do. And that's it. I appreciate you giving me some time. Thank you for having me on your show, and God bless you. And I just want to say I'm not mad at anyone. Anyone is welcome to contact me. I don't hold grudges. I just don't. Thanks, and God bless y'all. That's it.
Well, thank you, Rick. I tell you what, man. I appreciate the fact that you were open with me, and I hope you realize that nothing I said was meant to offend you or to attack you in any way, shape, or form.
Oh no.
And I enjoyed the conversation, and I thank you for coming on the show.
Okay, brother.
Thank you, Rick. You have a great day now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.